Hi, you guys. It's Yaz. And today I want to talk about narcissists and how they're emotionally unavailable. This is something that a lot of people don't realize when they get involved with a narcissist. They think that this person they can build a relationship with, they can get close to, they could possibly be their soulmate. Although you could have many soulmates, you guys. It's not just one person in this world. But one of the things you're going to realize later on, after you get, out of the relationship, because you're not going to see it in the very beginning. And a lot of times you're not going to see it during the relationship. But what happens is when you get involved with a narcissist is never, ever going to be able to connect with you emotionally, especially the covert narcissist. Covert narcissists are definitely emotionally unavailable. They're guarded. There's a wall up. You can never, ever get close with a covert narcissist. Why do they do this? To protect themselves. Because when you become a vulnerable person, you set yourself up to getting hurt. So when a narcissist gets involved with you, one of the things you have to keep in mind is that narcissist was never all in. They told you they were, they pretended they were, but in reality, they weren't, okay? They always tried to protect themselves, and that's why a lot of them have a backup plan. They're not about to put all their trust into somebody with fears that that person is going to hurt them. Covert narcissists don't trust anybody, all right? They're very damaged people. They're a fractured soul. And, there is nothing you can do to change that. And a lot of people think they can change them. They figure, well, okay, they had a rough childhood. I'll just show them a lot of love. I'll show them what love is all about. You could show them all the love in the world, but they will never, ever put that wall down and trust you, okay? And how do you see evidence of all of this? Well, a covert narcissist can run cold. They could be detached. They could become unaffectionate, all right? They'll show you fake affection in the beginning. But like I always say, you can't trust what you see in the beginning of a relationship because everybody is nice in the beginning. Everybody is putting on this false persona or showing their best foot forward in the very beginning, okay? Because you're something new. You're the shiny new toy. But what happens is, as time goes by, the covert narcissist is going to get tired of you, okay? So in a sense, the covert narcissist, they mislead you. They make you think that they are your ride or die. They make you think that they are in with you. They make you think that they're going to love you unconditionally when that is not true at all. They couldn't love anybody unconditionally because, again, it all stems to the fact that they don't trust anybody, okay? So that's why a lot of people, they get that hot and cold behavior because in the beginning they're very warm and then they run cold, okay? That's the true person, is the cold person that you see. And a lot of times they run cold is because they're running hot with somebody else because they have somebody on the sidelines that you didn't know about and they had that person from day one. Maybe they're still talking to their exes, trying to get back with their exes, or maybe they just have a side supply and you didn't know that. And then at times this person is running cold. That covert narcissist is emotionally unavailable. They could also be unavailable because they're a child from trauma, okay? They grew up in a house filled with trauma. And after dealing with whatever, traumas they had in their childhood, they'll never, ever trust anybody. That damage is done, all right? The only way a narcissist could ever heal themselves is for them to self-reflect, and that's something that a narcissist just doesn't want to do. They can't deal with the shame. You're dealing with somebody who is a very, very fragile ego. So you guys, when you get involved with somebody like that, you marry somebody like that, you will never, ever be connected to this person. Never be connected to this person. That's why they live a whole other life because they, again, what I said before, they don't trust anybody. Now, how do they fool you? They fool you by showing you pieces of fake vulnerability, okay? They may tell you a sob story, and a lot of them, this is calculated. They will tell you a sob story of something that went on in their childhood. They want to earn, your sympathy. They want to show you that they're close to you. So they may tell you a private story about their life. A lot of times these stories are, fabricated. They're not real. And that's, again, to earn your trust so that they could get the supply that you have to offer them. So they may open up a little bit, but a lot of times the stories that they tell you are not true. All right. And this is how they fool you. They also fool you by once in a while, they may be there for you. Once in a while, they may be nice to you. Okay. I did a reel about this, how, don't think a narcissist can be wicked and cruel all the time. Sometimes you can have great times with a narcissist. Sometimes you could have a lot of fun with a narcissist. Sometimes you could have great sex with a narcissist. But that doesn't necessarily mean that this person isn't toxic, okay? A toxic person is going to try to break down your self-esteem. A toxic person is not going to validate you or validate your feelings. A narcissist who is toxic is not going to show you empathy for when you're going through something rough. And this is the biggest sign that you're dealing with a narcissist, is that they will abandon you during tough times, okay? That's when you really see who's got you and who doesn't, is when you're down, okay? And I saw that a lot during the pandemic, and a lot of people saw that during the pandemic. That's why a lot of relationships were broken during the pandemic, was because, people saw who had them, who didn't. And also the secret lives of a lot of these covert narcissists were exposed. There was lockdowns. They couldn't go see their other supply. And there was a lot of relationships that broke up because people went crazy because they were condemned in one space with a partner that they really weren't into. All right. So you guys understand this. It's futile to ever think that you could ever have a close, loving, healthy relationship with a covert narcissist, because they will never let you in. They will never trust you. You're trying and trying and trying with this person, but again, they just can't let themselves go. The other way that they're emotionally unavailable is that they block out pain. Covert narcissists block out pain. They block out shame as well. So, when bad things happen, they love to sweep things under the rug. They don't want to deal with it. They just want to move on. They don't even want to talk about difficult things, you can't resolve problems with a covert narcissist because they won't take accountability. So they always want to sweep it under the rug, all right? Because they can't deal with shame. So you're dealing, again, with an emotionally unavailable person you can't get close with, and you're not going to really realize this, you guys, till later on when you get out of the relationship. A lot of times when you're dealing with a covert narcissist, you just think you have a communication problem. You're sitting there, you're trying to explain yourself. They're sitting on the couch with a blank stare, okay? Because they're not acknowledging you. They may not be putting you down, but they're not also, acknowledging what you're saying or validating what you're saying. They're leaving you on pause, okay? And you're just not connecting to this person, and you're thinking, oh, we just, all couples have problems. Oh, we just have a communication problem or something like that. When in fact, the problem is that covert narcissist won't be vulnerable. They won't open up. They won't let you in. They won't acknowledge you. They won't validate you. So how the hell do you think you're ever going to resolve conflict with somebody like that? You're not. You're not. When you find out you're dealing with a covert narcissist, a lot of times, after you get out of the relationship, you learn about covert narcissism and you say, oh my gosh, I was dealing with a covert narcissist. Oh my gosh, they kept giving me the silent treatment. Oh my gosh, they were passive aggressive. oh my gosh, they were gossiping behind my back. They were two-faced. They were a backstabber. Then you look back on it and you say, wow, I was dealing with a covert narcissist who couldn't communicate. Go listen to my podcast that I did about how covert narcissists cannot communicate, all right? So they are emotionally unavailable people that block out things that they don't like. And I've dealt with this. I dealt with this with my ex. I dealt with this with family members. Anytime that they had issues that they didn't want to address because they were afraid of that shame, they didn't want to discuss it. They didn't want to discuss, anything that, was unpleasant to them or that they had to, take accountability or face shame. So they would always kind of they would stonewall, or they would not want to talk about it, or they would blame shift and say, you're sensitive or something like that. They will never, ever hit a problem head on and try to resolve it with you because, again, they don't want to take that shame. So they are emotionally unavailable because of all the traumas that they went through. And if they're emotionally unavailable, they can never, ever truly love you. In order for somebody to love you, they have to be able to let themselves go and release themselves and be able to show you their flaws, show you they're wrong, acknowledge when they're wrong. Okay, that's how you build that closeness, is by that vulnerability. But with a covert narcissist, they're not going to do that. They show a fake false image. They're very hyper-focused on how they look to outsiders. So they never want to show their vulnerabilities. So if they can't show their vulnerabilities, how do you ever expect to connect with this person? You won't. Instead, what they're going to do is they're going to point out your vulnerabilities and say that you have mental issues, because they love to call you the mental card, that you're crazy, all right? Because they can't address the issue. They're emotionally unavailable, all right? They're never an open person. They're a guarded person. Understand this. Covert narcissists are guarded people. It's a survival tactic. So you guys, I hope you understand that when you're dealing with a covert narcissist, you're going to feel alone, okay? You're going to feel alone. You're never going to feel like you can connect with that person. I've felt that. I felt that for years. Not only with certain members of my family that I never connected with because I didn't understand it, okay? Not everybody in your family is what we could call family, okay? Because they don't have that openness, that love. They don't trust you. All right. And it's the same with a partner. I felt that as well in my, my marriage and stuff like that. I felt alone. I didn't feel connected. This person was emotionally unavailable because they were guilt tripped by their covert narcissistic mother. All right. So you also have to look at the flying monkeys that are around the covert narcissist, and then you'll understand why this person does what they do, because they're conditioned by other people, which is usually their family, okay, who conditions them not to trust and not to trust their partner. And who's their partner? That's you. So now when you're dealing with this person that you're either married with or in a relationship with, how do you ever expect to connect with them and feel that safety and security and that wholeness with that person? You will never have it. You will never have that connection with that person. You're going to feel alone. That's why I tell people, never feel bad about leaving a relationship with a narcissist, especially a covert narcissist, because you were alone to begin with. That person was never all in. That person was never connected with you. You are losing nothing. But the longer you stay with them, what you are losing is your time and your life. They will waste your life away because they pretend and they mislead you to think that they're all in when they're not, okay? When they're not. That's why you've got to be focused. The minute that you see that this person is not all in is the minute that you say, not today, Satan. I need to back off from this person because they're telling me one thing and they're doing another, all right? They're misleading me to think that they're all in when they're really not all in. And you know what? I don't want to waste my life away with somebody who has 1 foot in and 1 foot out the door. Okay? That's how you waste your life away, you guys. I'm trying to save your life. Don't waste your life away with somebody whose energy is not all in and somebody who can't be vulnerable and open with you. You're wasting your life away when you spend it with somebody like that, because you'll be alone and you won't be connected to them, okay? So don't be afraid to leave them, because you're not losing anything. They were never all in. Again, go listen to my podcast, because I really lay it down about how the narcissist is never all in, okay? So I hope that helps you understand. If it does, hit the subscribe button, share the podcast. If you're looking for one-on-one coaching, go to the link in the bio at askyaz.wix that explains how to get one-on-one confidential phone coaching. If you're confused whether you're dealing with a narcissist, how to deal with this narcissist, okay? And you need some clarity and you want one-on-one phone coaching, go to the link in my bio, askyaz.wixsite.com. If you want to see more about Covert Narcissists, because I have thousands of videos on Covert Narcissists, go to my YouTube at the Game Exposed Podcast on YouTube, the Game Exposed Podcast on YouTube. And if you're looking for more posts to follow, check out my Instagram at the Game EXP123, and have a great day, you guys.